Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, I am Lady Haratami, and in this video I would like to share you about 7 current issues on English language teachings. Today, English language teachers face a world that is very fractious, postmodernist, and with many dimensions. It's no longer the case of just open the book and teach. There are many issues changing and challenging the professions. Current issues means that hot topic discussed by many people about English language teachings, both national or international. Okay, we go to the first issue, the new paradigm in English language teachings. It's very interesting learning English with our educational curriculum that relies on the 5 forces of learning experience that are bound in a new approach called the scientific approach. Learning experiences such as observing, asking, informing, associating, and communicating into a single unit. Do the learning activities compiled already reflect the scientific approach that the curriculum wants? Ideally, teachers must be able to analyze learning activities so as to reach the point of context between learning activities, learning experiences, learning objectives, indicators, and competencies to be achieved in a learning plan. English learning planning designed by the teacher should focus more on efforts to build students' English communication skills, both oral and written. The problems of teachers, students, and the school environment is increasingly distant from learning outcomes and educational outcomes. This means that there is an incomplete process. The applications of the 2013 curriculum for English subject is a new paradigm of language learning in classrooms where teachers and students learn with material that is authentic and is related to the daily environments of students. So that language teachers teach not only forms but also more meaningful content. Teachers' interventions is still expected but no longer tells. Okay, the second issue is implementing online ELT in the time of crisis, ordeal, or opportunity. In these situations, colleges and universities were expected to make full use of a variety of free online courses to organize online educational activities and make immediate plans for online teachings and learning to maintain and guarantee teaching quality. This means online teaching was not optional but required for all colleges and universities, which were subsequently forced to make detailed plans to implement online teachings and learning based on the guidelines. Faced with challenges that are submitted by ELT entirely online at this particular time, many teachers or lecturers face them fears about managing new tools and applications, and having experienced dilemmas and difficulties adjusting to new teaching living environment. However, as instructors, they must optimize the teaching component and have learned to combine new techniques in their online teachings. On a positive note, this offers a unique time opportunities for ELT instructors who are used to face-to-face context setting for a closer look at online teaching with fresh eye and revitalize their teaching repertoire. And the third issue is the rise of chatbots, new personal assistants in foreign language learning. Chatbots are available to 24 hours 7 days a week on a learner's own mobile device. They provide learning at a convenient time, plus any small chunks or short pieces which suits to fast-paced lives of modern students well. They also provide an immediate feedback, check the students' comprehensions, and patiently repeat countless times the information that needs to be understood, remembered, and put into practice. They provide safe environments with no expectations or judgments, which is very important for stress-free learning. Chatbots provide an easy and cheap way to master the basics of a foreign language and gain some communication skills. In combinations with visual contents of educational blogs on social media such as YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, and others. chatbots create a solid foundation for a new educational scenario. Based on the idea of microlearning and adaptive learning environment, this scenario definitely cannot replace a real teacher, but it can help facilitate and improve the student's learning process and provide easy access to foreign language tuitions to those who would not get it otherwise due to their lifestyles or locations. And the fourth issue is, it's worth flipping. The impact of flipped classrooms on EFL students' grammar. In light of contemporary pedagogical methods, the flipped classroom has been recognized as an effective pedagogy in English as a foreign language. The findings indicate that flipped learning had a positive impact on students' understanding and usage of English grammar. Students' perceptions on the flipped approach were positive. Also, the result of the study matched the result obtained by Koroglu and Chakir in 2017, who found that the flipped classroom significantly enhanced students' grammatical competence in speaking skills. In addition, the study further supported the study of Obari and Lambacher in 2015, which demonstrated a positive impact of flipped learning on students' English proficiency. The study recommends that teachers should design appropriate and short videos that are very simple for students to understand and follow. The videos should include several examples related to grammar rules. These examples should be supported by pictures to aid comprehensions. In addition, teachers can use learning platforms such as Moodle or Blackboard, where students can discuss the video with their classmates before the class to help them understand the content. And the fifth issue is incorporating global Englishes into the ELT classroom. Increasing students' awareness of the globalizations of English is a daunting task for teachers, especially considering the lack of globally oriented ELT materials available. The study builds on previous research in response to recent calls for more classroom-level research and reports on the use of a student presentation test to introduce and raise awareness of global Englishes in the Japanese English language classroom. Because this research has been done in Japan. An analysis of students' reflections showed that the presentation tasks allow students to select and explore Englishes salient to their experiences and interests. In researching and imparting knowledge of their chosen variety in English and challenges attitudes towards Englishes that differs from standard model presented in typical ELT material in Japan. Thus, such as presentations, reflections, and feedback, students' debate preparations, and etc. Provide practitioners with avenues to incorporate global Englishes into classroom practice. And sixth issues is wall magazine as media in grasping pupils' reading interest at primary level. The aims of this idea is to describe the literacy movement initiated by Indonesian government. Since there is disproportional distribution of literacy exposures between the pupils who are living in urban areas and the pupils who are living in rural areas. It needs important roles of teacher and school management, mainly for those at rural areas, in developing and improving reading habits for their pupils. The wall magazines can be used as affordable media in grasping pupils' reading interest at primary level. The appropriate procedures in using wall magazine at primary schools can support divergent purpose to make a pupil get interest in reading. The use of wall magazines is also intended to create reading environment for the pupils in order to learn and apply the literacy movement program at early level. The appropriate use of strategies in using wall magazine is planned to train the pupils learning how to read and think critically about the textual materials that are provided by using attractive and appropriate visual media. And the last issue is students' e-learning through a synchronous Zoom web conference system. Synchronous learning is a distant learning through a real-time live web conference platforms. In this learning, students' reflection on their experience in using the system is beneficial to the overall success. This study explores students' experience and what they perceive from the implementations of synchronous learning through Zoom conference system. Using exploratory sequential design, the data were collected from 70 to students taking an English subject in a university in Indonesia. Classroom observations and a set of questionnaires by a 5-point Likert scale were used to collect the data. Findings from observations denote there are 3 factors of activities: communications, lesson material, and study process. Findings from questionnaires indicate positive answers from all 3 factors. The students agreed that they could communicate at ease before the lesson starts, questions and answers during the study process, and could work collaboratively through the breakout rooms. Through the whiteboard or share screen featured in Zoom's conference, students described that they were able to give feedback to each other. Moreover, they mostly agreed that materials to the lessons could be accessed and understood in e-learning. However, with all the positive feedback on the 3 factors, they agreed that the traditional face-to-face still gives easier and better access from the factors of communications and material compared to the e-learning. Okay guys, that's all that I can share to you about 7 current issues on ELT, and I hope you easy to understand what I say. I'm so sorry for all of my mistakes. Thank you for watching, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.